Well, winter time is definitely here, and I think we're going to be using the snowblower a lot more than we have in the past, because if you've been following my videos, you may know that my uncle's plow truck caught fire last year, or earlier this year, and that won't be plowing our driveway, and he doesn't have the other one ready yet, so we're probably going to end up using the snowblower quite a bit. So I've gone ahead and pulled it out of the garage here and pulled it out in the open where I can work on it. And I've already gone ahead and put fresh gas in it and cleaned off the plug, but it still runs like crap, you know, it lean surges. So there's probably a bunch of crap in the carburetor, but when I was researching on, you know, rebuild kits, because I was going to clean it and rebuild it, I found a brand new carburetor for $13. So I'm going to go ahead and put the new carburetor in it. $13. You can't beat the price. And even came with a gasket too. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in, but before I do, I think I'll try to fire it up and show you what it sounded like when it was running. As you can see, it was lean surging pretty good there. I went ahead and turned off the gas just to get as much of it out of the carburetor as I could. So now we can go ahead and see if we can change this thing. Alright, I got you zoomed in on the carburetor here, and the first thing we're going to do is take the choke lever off, and we're going to unscrew the two screws on the back of this carburetor here. Remove the choke lever, or the choke handle assembly knob, whatever you want to call it. You need a stubby screwdriver for that one. And there we go. Now you can leave all this stuff on the carburetor and take the whole carburetor unit off, but I just find it's easier to break screws and bolts loose when it's attached to something pretty solid. So I'm just going to go ahead and take off this little bracket here, which holds on the cover, and then we'll get to the carburetor. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect the fuel line, which is actually behind the carburetor. I don't know how well I'll be able to get you in there to see it, but there it is right there. So I'm just going to take a pair of pliers, take that hose clamp off, slide it back, and then I can go ahead and take the whole carburetor off. Alright, I've got the line broken loose, which is probably all I'm going to get for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take these screws out of this carburetor, and I should be able to just pull it right off, in theory. Alright, I managed to get that last screw out the back. I ended up using this. It's just a screwdriver end that I can put on a ratchet. And then on the other side I managed to get the end of the wrench to hold the nut. It's kind of tricky, but it's better than taking off this whole thing, I think. So I got it. Now we just got to pull this choke lever, or this throttle lever, out of here. And then hopefully we'll be able to get the fuel line off. Cross your fingers. Then we can get the throttle lever out of there. There we go. Now all that's left is the fuel line. Which in theory should be off, and I hope it is. There we go. Yeah, we got a little bit of gas spilled, but got the carburetor off. Now we can go ahead and grab the new one and put that on. And here's our new carburetor. First thing I'm going to do actually is hook up the fuel line and the throttle lever here, and then I'll put the gasket in, put the bolts in, and should be good to go. I really should replace this this fuel line, just because, or the clamp, I mean, just because it's old and it's probably not going to hold much tension, but I don't happen to have another one on hand at the moment, so this one's going back on, and hopefully it'll be good enough so that line doesn't leak. Now we got to get throttle lever in there, and I believe, yeah, it came out of that second hole, I think. I do believe. Yeah, I believe it came out of this hole here. So That's the one I'm going to try to get her back into. If I can. There we go. That wasn't so bad. I can pull the fuel line back through. Get her kind of lined up again. I'll go get my gasket. And I'll get my screws ready. I'll hang my gasket off of, I think, the back screw first. There. And the front screw. There we go. Now I just got to put the nuts on. And this front one, we're actually going to have to turn the screw to get the nut started, because it you can't turn the nut on this one, but on the back one, the hard one to get to, of course you can turn the nut, so you need to put a wrench on it to hold it there. Kind of a stupid design if you ask me, but I guess that's why they didn't ask me. Well, that one started. There we go. And then we'll finish snugging them up with the ratchet. There we go. Now, I believe this line was once attached here. Once in a blue moon. A long, long time ago. I'm actually going to cut the end of that off because it's kind of crappy. There we go. Hopefully that's right anyway. And now we can reinstall the choke lever here. Well, that ain't the right screw, that's why. Duh. Well, all right, that should be it. I don't think I forgot anything. Let's turn the gas on and give her a shot. All right, we've got gas in the bowl. Let's turn the key and see what happens. Well, that's interesting. Still surging. I wonder what's going on here. Well, I figured it out. I should have known. They don't come adjusted, of course. So the mixture screw was turned all the way in. That's why it was running so lean and had that lean surge to it. So I've gone ahead and I've turned it out, about a turn and a quarter, and it runs pretty good. I don't know what the actual adjustment's supposed to be, but it seems to run all right. Still got a little bit of a pop to it. Might be spark plugs or something, who knows, because it's the original plug. But I'll fire it up and you can see it run. Well, there we go. It runs a lot better than it did before. The linkage is still a bit stiff here because it's sitting for a while and we haven't used it. But overall, I think it'll work. I'll throw that cover back on. I've got it on my bench over there, and then we should be ready to blow some snow.